Everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be a new episode of Read It or Unhaul It, which is the most hectic reading challenge I've ever done, I think. Every month is so different. Last month was absolutely ridiculous. I unhauled like 7 books. So we're hoping that it's going to be a little smoother for me. I'm sure you would like it to go as badly / well as last month, but you just never know. This time it's going to be me choosing, not the cats. Currently I'm staring at Clawdia on her throne. The AC. So it's gonna be me. So we can see, you know, who chooses better, the cats or me. The kittens definitely had great picks last month, but as always, this is the bag that contains, well, that used to contain 400 books, unread books that were on my shelf, and I have since been, you know, going through them. We have yet to pick one that I've already read this year. That is one of the things, right? I feel like that should have happened at one point. Well, we're mid-year. It still has time. So, what color do we want? What color do we want? I just don't want purple. Classics are just such a no. Blue. Oh, I almost saw what it was. Blue is sci-fi, which is technically one of my favorite genre. The only thing is the ones that I have on my shelf, this whole challenge has really made me think about my shelves a lot more. A lot of them I bought when I first started Booktube, and a lot of them are like classic sci-fi, the really popular ones, which don't necessarily work for me. So even though it's a favorite genre, it's a little nerve-wracking. So, I almost saw it again. Damn. You get to see it first. If it focuses, is it focusing? Hopefully you saw it. Am I gonna like this? Am I gonna like this? Okay. It could be worse. Let me pick it up. Okay, so sci-fi are these two shelves. And Cytonic is right here. Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson. Okay, my reaction is because Brandon Sanderson is one of my favorite authors, but I have since discovered that it's mostly his adult fantasy books that I enjoy. I love the world building and everything, and I liked Skyward, the first book in this quartet. Unfortunately, I feel like I stopped caring because after book 2, there are 2 novellas, which are like 200 pages, and they're co-written, and it shows. And I kind of lost interest after reading, you know, 40 pages of meh. So I never picked up book 3. I also have the novella afterwards, and book 4 is supposed to come out. Is it out? Is it about to come out? Either way, I've kind of lost interest. It's a YA sci-fi, and I had given book 1 5 stars. I also did really like book 2, but yeah, I kind of lost interest a little bit. So I guess I don't have a choice now to make a decision. I might actually really love it once I get into it. It's just that the novellas, anyone read them and is also kind of just about it? This is such a mediocre reaction, but like, I used to love this series and the novellas kind of ruined it for me, but we're gonna go into it with an open mind. I feel like even the YA books by him that I didn't love, the concepts were still super interesting, so I should still enjoy this. Thank you. I have to clean up more now. Where are they? You can't even see her. Listen, I've been cleaning this room constantly. They love it. Someone mentioned that I basically build this as a jungle gym for them. And yeah, absolutely. They did just love. It's hard to be mad though. She's so adorable. She has become so cuddly that she can basically burn down the house and I'll be okay. So I'll see you a little bit later, hopefully. I'm so nervous. Can you tell it's humid outside? Anyway, first impression, I'm at chapter 10. Do you see the beast? Which one are you? Oh, it's Charlie. Look how giant he is. It's crazy. Is it me? Or like in the last 2 years since this was published and I didn't read it, this feels a lot more YA than I remember the series being. Is it me? I feel like I went into it, but I'm enjoying it. I feel like it's obviously following up the rest of the series, so I don't want to spoil anything, but things are definitely very different and interesting, but the humor is starting to make me feel really old. Like, this would be much better if I had read it, you know, 10 years ago. Also, by the way, the cats already managed to make a hole. I've had it for less than a week. Like, anyway. But yes, I'm flying through it. YA books, I think the best part about it is that it feels very satisfying because usually they're quick reads and they're engaging. So also, I'm still reading this. I wanted to mention it quickly because I can only manage to read like 10 pages every couple days because it's so depressing. I was super prepared for chapter 1, which was about incels. I feel like I've learned more than I ever wanted to on the internet, but somehow chapter 2 is about pickup artists, and somehow I managed to spend my whole life without learning pretty much anything about it. I don't know when the phase was. I don't know if I was too young or just completely unaware, but I managed to not learn anything pretty much, so that chapter was kind of traumatizing. Not gonna lie. But yes, I'm kind of taking a little break, flip-flopping between the two, and first impression is it's fine, okay? It's just that I feel like the humor worked for me. I understood why people didn't like it in book 1, but for some reason now I'm feeling like the grumpy person that feels that it's a bit, but we'll see. I feel like the concepts are going to be interesting no matter what. So, ooh, last thing, I should receive this before the end of the day, so I'm going to install it and show you because I've been asked multiple times what's going on with Pear, the mom of the kittens. She hates her babies, so I've been avoiding talking about it because it's how I deal with stress. I just don't talk about it until it's done. And I've been working with her so she will stop hating them. She had surgery, so her hormones are going down. The vet said it was completely normal, just to give her a couple weeks. She improved to the point that she doesn't attack the paws, like usually it's Clawdia shoving her paws under the door. And she doesn't always attack her now. She stopped growling and attacking the door, so slight improvement. And I tried to like crack the door, and it works if I'm on her side, but not if I'm on the baby's side. So it's a work in progress, and I think this is going to be the next step because I don't have any baby gates, so that's going to be hopefully solid enough to work. Cross all of your fingers for me. But I'm working on it, and yes, she's still alive. Let's not start conspiracy theories. I'm not planning on getting rid of her or anything. She's still there. She was healing, and then we've been, you know, working on her hormones. So I have been humbled very hard by this thing. Honestly, I feel like you need a PhD to deal with this, and now it looks like my bedroom is radioactive. Look at this. What is this? Good thing that I need to paint because this thing is sticky. So the babies are in the bedroom. We're gonna open it and it's not gonna end well. I already know. Hello. Hello. Now I need to open the door for Mama to see you. That's gonna be a shit show. It's gonna end up so badly. I left the treats on the other side. Oh my gosh, it's trying to jump. Please don't do that. Oh gosh. Okay, let's see how that goes. You can't see very well. If I close the light, maybe? I'm gonna put something to keep it open eventually. Oh God. Yeah, that's what's been going on. Okay, that you know. So yeah, it wasn't very successful, but I'm gonna use it for when I'm feeding them so they can see each other and associate them with, you know, positive. The babies don't care. Like they were jumping in it just because it was new. But I had tried to send Charlie, which is the calmest of the babies, with some liquid treats on his head when she was healed from the surgery. And I thought maybe I can trick her into licking him or something. And he just didn't care about her whatsoever, was just exploring the room. And she never got anywhere near him. So that didn't work out. I don't think that would work out yet. So we're gonna go back 50 steps and just do the whole food thing whenever they're in front of the door, because she was getting better without seeing them, but like she would see the paws under the door. So yeah, that's basically why I haven't been showing her. Claudia is so sad that her mom hates her. She's staring at the door. I had to close it because Mama was not happy. She wants to be her friend so badly. I finished it. Cytonic. Let me tell you, I really struggled. I don't know if I had a feeling, that's why I didn't pick it up. I don't even know if I want to continue the series. This is Brandon Sanderson. I feel like he's in my head one of my favorite authors, but like I mentioned earlier, I feel like at this point I've accepted that I like his adult fantasy much better. Similarly to the Reckoners series by him, there's a lot of like invented swear words, and it annoys me. It took longer for this one to annoy me than his other series, but still, I don't know, it read so much younger than I remember, and I really didn't care. I feel like by the end I was reading in diagonal, which is awful to say. But yeah, the ending was like good. But that's pretty much it. I was not invested. I didn't care. And it was really, really different in my defense from the two other books, which I mentioned nothing about the series, but I feel like it's so well known that I just assume. But A Pocket of Humanity is trying to stay alive in book 1. They're constantly under attack from aliens. And book 2 becomes bigger. I have like cat hair stuck to my lip gloss. This is a nightmare. Trying to focus. And in book 2, there's a lot more political intrigue. And then book 3, I can't spoil it, but it's just weird. Just straight up weird. And I don't know. I didn't care. That's my review. I feel like I might round it up to 3, but probably not. I don't know. But this might make it to my most disappointing books of the year. Even though I had an inkling I wasn't going to like it, So let's pick something else. The bag, let's do this. I don't even know what I want to read now. We're just gonna go for it. I didn't even check the color. I'm nervous. Probably shouldn't close it because I might put it back. Okay. Mystery thriller horror. As long as it's not Stephen King. I keep saying that, but it's because I've read my one Stephen King a year. Okay, that was enough for me. Hopefully it's on the right side. If it's not, just in case. Oh, Les Fourmis. Okay, I've been wanting to read this. Let me grab it. Les Fourmis by Bernard Werber? Is that how you say that? I don't know. I'm assuming he's French. I feel like I used to see people reading this in like elementary school. I don't know how old this is, how quickly when it came to Canada. 91? But I feel like I used to see people reading this, and the topic, like the theme, sounded interesting. I think it's a thriller. It says so in the back. I mean, it was on my thriller shelf, but sometimes I make mistakes. And you have this man who gets this house, buy this house, inherit this house. There are like ants in there. I am not selling this book at all. But mystery thriller, ants. Apparently it's really interesting. This is a trilogy, and I feel like, again, I used to see people reading this, talking about this, but it's been years and years and years, and I don't know. When I saw it, I decided to pick it up because I remembered it, and I feel like, not spiders. I think we're seeing part of the story through their eyes, and it's reminding me of some other books that I've read, so hopefully that goes well. It's French though, so we'll know soon. I will read the first chapter. I don't know if I'm going to read the first chapter actually, because are there chapters? So chapter 1 is 100 pages, so I might not read the first chapter before I react, but I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know because I haven't read a French book in a while. Actually, that's not true. Last year I read The Three Musketeers in French. French is my first language, so like I don't know why I'm making this a whole thing. I'm going to read this. I'm going to start it today. I'm going to give you my first impression. But I'm hoping I'm going to like this. This was put on my, you can't see it. It was put right here, which is like my favorite-ish shelf for the ones I'm really excited to read. So, can't be worse than Cytonic, can it? Okay, I didn't make it quite to page 100 yet. Did I show you that it was bitten? This book was in the background, right? On my shelf with a bunch of books I was excited to read, and it's the shelf that the kittens keep going on and just eating the books of. So I'm assuming this is Clawdia's teeth mark. Anyway, first impression. Let me tell you what the story is about because I didn't really know. Speaking of the beast. So yes, this dude inherits the house from his uncle, and he tells him not to go in the basement. That's the thing. And you're also following a lot of the story through the eyes of ants. So it's kind of giving me vibes of Children of Time because of that. I don't know yet if I'm going to enjoy it or not. Because I feel like Children of Time took me a little while to get into it. But yeah, I've definitely been reading a lot about spiders, but none of this discussion that I'm about to have with you has anything to do with this. So just bear with me. This book is so freaking French. Like, so French. I I tried to film the videos today and I kept speaking French. This is ruining my brain. But I do need to speak to the French people right now, or just people that are interested, really, because I need a confirmation that this isn't a thing. So, like, these people have a dog, and the dog is called Warzazat. Do you actually, like, call your dogs? Like, I've never heard that. It kind of sounds like, what was that, with a French accent? Warzazat. What is that? Yeah, and for short they call it Warzy. Listen, I lost some brain cells there. Whatever, fair enough. But the actual discussion I wanted to talk about is that, for anyone that doesn't know, I've mentioned prior to this, but French is an extremely gendered language. Everything has a gender. My shirt, a book, the bed, everything has a gender, which is really hard when you're learning the language, because you just have to remember what everything is, because people are like, oh, are there rules? No, you just have to know, which is very dumb. But I find it really interesting because more modern words, especially like the ones that are from English, I don't know if it's an actual thing or not, but I feel like Quebec French and French from France, we don't always give the same gender. And I'm wondering if there are other words that I don't know of, but I knew, not the one that I'm seeing here, but I knew that the word video in French, vidéo, in Quebec, we say un vidéo, which is masculine form. And in France, on social media, I've heard people say une vidéo, so like the feminine. And I don't know if it's always like that. Are there rules? Do we say it wrong? I feel like we always say it wrong here, apparently. But anyway, in the book, they say ton job, so like the word job, in the masculine form. And here, I've never heard anyone not use it at the feminine, like ta job. So is that a thing? French people are just language people? Let me know. Yeah, that kind of tells you how invested I am in the book if I'm starting to speak about the language. But yeah, that's where we're at. It's very French. It's very French. To be fair, it's okay. Like, my first language is French, and I used to have a great vocabulary, so it's not really a problem. But it's just expressions that I never hear anyone mention or use here. Like, nobody says il bafouilla. If I heard someone say that here, I would be shocked. So yeah, I'll keep you updated. I'm hoping, because it's short, I'm hoping I'm gonna have time for a third book. It would be cool, because after the first book, it was kind of rough. You know, we need a 5-star. So maybe. Okay, quickly update. I have about like 100 pages left, and I'm not really feeling it. I'm gonna finish it because I'm stubborn. I feel like I wanted it to give me vibes of like Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky, with, in that one, like spiders. You get a lot of chapters written from the point of view of the ants, and it should be good, but it's kind of not. Some portions are, but like a lot of it is just not to my taste, and about like maybe 20% of the book is from the point of view of the humans, which is not enough. And that portion feels horror, but you just don't get enough. It's like barely like 2 pages, and then you switch back to the ants, which I'm hoping that the ending's gonna blow my mind. I know this is the first book of a trilogy, but right now I'm not planning on continuing unless the ending is like really mind-blowing, which I'm not really expecting at this point. Yeah, I'm so disappointed. I really thought I was going to like this, but I'm not. So I'm refilming this because my microphone was on the wrong setting. I finished the book. it sucked. We're just gonna say it. It really, really, really sucked. This is officially the worst book I have read so far this year, I think. This is gonna be my first official 1 star. So I think it's the only one, at least out of the books that I've actually finished. Yeah, it's, I don't even know what to say. I thought the ending might compensate since it is the first book in a trilogy, right? No, the big reveal was not worth anything. And I want to read you one extract to kind of give you an example as to how weird this whole thing is. It kind of reads almost like a children's book in the human portions, but like it's not, because obviously people are dying. But let me translate this to the best of my abilities. For context, the grandmother of the guy that got the house, so the mother of the uncle, she's in the house, she opens the door, and there is a professor coming and trying to go into the basement. I don't know why, because people keep disappearing when they go down there. And she doesn't hear him really well because she's like 100, so she's a little deaf. But it says that whenever you're deaf, apparently you learn to see better, which at 100, doubt. But she says that she judges him as a person based on his ears. Yeah, this is how the human portion goes. But it keeps getting worse because she's saying how the human body has this particularity of keeping its form from its past, you know, its fetus form based on its ears. It keeps going. And then she says, Le Duc, that man, must have been a skinny fetus. And she, the grandma, appreciated moderately skinny fetuses. So that's the excuse as to why she lets him in. Why? I have so many questions, but I don't care anymore. 1 star. This sucked. This is too weird. I think this is gonna make it to my future part 2 of the weirdest books that I've ever read. Some of them I've loved, you know, weird good. This is a weird bad to me. Sometimes I care, you know, when I don't like a book, to hear what other people enjoyed about it. This one I don't. This is bad. I feel like so far I got rid of a bunch of books during this challenge, right? I read it or unhaul them. But this one, I somehow made it to the end, and I shouldn't have. I was just so hopeful. But yeah, this is officially, no, I don't think that's actually the worst episode of this series, because last month I did get rid of 7 books. So there's that. But this is going bye-bye. I'm not keeping this. I never want to talk about this again, except in my worst books of the year, which I will absolutely reread this portion about the years. I was hoping to pick a 3rd book, but unfortunately I have to bring my laptop to be repaired, and they're saying that they need it for 5 days. So I need to edit the video right away so I have it for this weekend. So yeah, that sucked. We'll start again next month fresh. We're going to start fresh next month instead. Listen. This was not successful. A one star and a 2 star. Officially terrible challenge, but on the bright side, I am going through the books that I wouldn't have picked up any time from my shelf, which is, it means that the challenge is doing its thing, and I'm okay, because while I'm still waiting for my first 5 star for this challenge, we're going to do it again next year. It's officially decided. I have been keeping the books that I buy in this cabinet over there, and at the end of the year, after I've done a challenge with it before the end of the year, they're going to go on my shelf, and I'm going to write them all down and put them in the bag, and we're going to start fresh again next year, which we're probably going to start with more books. Maybe as many books as I had, because I had 411, right? Who knows? I'll calculate that at the end of the year. So yeah, I'm having to talk twice about the ending. Just, it's the last straw for me. So this is it. I will see you next month for the continuation of this challenge, or in a few days for a different video. Warzazat, I'm still not over that.